What was the hardest part for you, right? Because this is not a beginner program and this is not the easy quick fix. Like you have to earn it, and which is awesome, right? But that's hard. So what was the hardest part for you?
I think the hardest part during the 90-day for me was acknowledging that that almost that I was choosing, or that I was accepting that my life was just the way that my life was, and there was nothing that I could do to change it. And so that happened, I think, when I started doing the 30 days of mindset models, that it kind of just, which was probably towards the end of the program, that I finally said, yes, I would do that. Because you've been asking for a long time. But that was when I finally felt a shift. And that was the hardest part, because I had to sit there and I sat with, and I acknowledged a lot of icky feelings that I was pushing down about, the feelings that I had about having to be the sole caregiver for my family. And, when my husband worked full time, and that he got to go and do all of this fun stuff with other humans. And I was with our kids all the time. And then at the same time, I was trying to juggle real estate, and they were always around, and that I was waking up in the middle of the night with my eldest, and all of those things. And I think for me, that was the hardest thing, was to sit there and say, this is not what I want anymore. And I think the fear that I had when I kind of owned that was, it wasn't that I didn't want my life. It was just that I didn't want to have those feelings anymore. And so it was kind of acknowledging that, owning that, and then saying like, okay, now I can move forward. How do I do that? And that was where you really helped a lot, by kind of helping coaching and pushing me a little bit outside of my, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And then eventually I said, okay, I'll do it. And it was just, there was a huge shift, and it wasn't easy. Those mindset models are not always easy and enjoyable, but they're helpful.
Weird. The hard stuff is usually the stuff that pushes us forward. I know. Yeah.
Weird.
It sounds like you wanted your life, of course, but you hadn't reconciled in your brain, like, I'm choosing this life.
Yes.
You felt like this life was happening to you.
Yes.
And then when you got to that place, you're like, wait a second, no, I'm choosing this, and I'm choosing how I'm treating myself, and I'm treating my family, and I'm showing up every day. Then you were liberated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it was for a really long time, this almost victim mentality, right? Of everything's happening to me. And instead of sitting there and being like, no, I'm okay with this happening. I'm okay with it being this way right now, or I'm not okay with it. And how do I change it? Or, it was no longer this idea of I have no control. It was, I am absolutely 100% in control. And I just need to start moving whatever it is forward so that it changes. So I think that was the biggest thing. And it was definitely the hardest.